What has it been like for you with this show?
Man, it's been great. It's been, you know, we were talking earlier about Dale and sort of transcending NASCAR, and this show has been, first of all, it's my dream job. I've never had a job like this, not even close, and I've had some really good jobs. But I will have things, like what I mean by that is people will walk up to me that I do not know and start telling me things about their life that are intimate, you know, details. And I think it's cathartic for them, obviously, and they're like getting it off their chest. And I feel like it's helping. And so that's something that I never thought in a million years that I would get from any kind of, you know, acting job. So that's been kind of neat.
So people are sharing their battles with alcoholism with you and things like that?
Sure, or it could be anything, divorce, loss of a child.
Oh my!
Also
word.
Victories, victories as well, which is good. Celebratory things.
Okay.
But it's been insane. I mean, it's been insane in a good way. Just incredible. I can't even. Like, who would have thought that would happen? Where someone would walk up to you and smile. And first of all, you know, people say all the time, they're like, "Does it ever get old?" People walking up to you, and I'm like, "No," because I'm not a politician, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not even an athlete where it's like, they hate my team or something. Like people that walk up, they're generally very happy and, you know, happy to see you, which is nice. So it's just like a bunch of warm fuzzies. It's nice. It's a good.
But I mean, to be able to do something that's so meaningful to other people, there's clearly a connection if somebody's coming up to you and doing that.
Yeah.
So congratulations
Thanks,
on that.
man.
I mean, to be part of something like that, and the writing's incredible. The writing's
incredible. That's where it all starts.
What's it like when you get a script?
Like candy, like being a kid in a candy store, you flip through it and I try to, you know, you try to absorb it, but you're also like trying to get to the next page. And every script, they seem to outdo themselves. I'm not quite sure how they've been able to do that for such a long time, but I mean, we've only been on 2 years,
right?
But I remember reading the pilot thinking, I have to figure out a way to get on this, to get this job. Like there's somehow I have to get this
role in particular, or were you?
Well, my friend called me and he said, do you know Dan Fogelman? Dan Fogelman created the show. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah. And he goes, how long have you known him? I said, well, no, I don't know him. We're not friends. I know of him. Sure. I know who the man is. And he goes, I think he just wrote you. And I go, send me the script. So he sends me the script and I'm reading it. And the opening page, and I start to see it. I'm like, oh yeah, Jack. Cause he loves his wife and he's the loyal guy, and that's awesome. Like I'm Jack. Yeah, this is great. And then I kept flipping and I realized, oh no, I'm Kevin. Like he's talking about Kevin. That's who I am, right? Or that's who he sees me as, my friend. And so I ended up going in. I got lucky enough to get the audition, and it was actually a pretty easy process. It was 2 auditions and then the call. Well,
let's put a few more meat on the bones there. Yeah. Is it because you tried to be an athlete, and is that what I mean? What's the Kevin in you?
Yeah, you know, gosh, I get him from a different sort of angle. The way I see him is, I think the opposite of what he is at first glance. And I think at first glance, like if you took a snapshot of him, for instance, when we first saw him, it's his birthday. He's sitting on a bed with these 2 models. He's at a party. And what I saw was, I didn't see a guy that was like, oh, he's got a ton of friends in a huge house and he's got models in his bedroom and it's his birthday and everyone loves him. I saw a guy that probably had his house that might not be paid for, packed full of people that he probably doesn't know, sitting with 2 girls that he's never had a conversation with, probably doesn't have any friends, and he's alone, surrounded by people in this room. And that's so depressing and sad. And he's trying to do everything he can to take the focus off of that so that no one will notice who he really is. That's what I saw. And that's heartbreaking. And I thought, man, if they're going to tell that story, and then that's the story that they ended up telling. So you see this guy go down this path alone. He's just alone and misunderstood. And even when he cries out for help and tries to say, my God, help me, I'm not worth anything, people are just like, God, so humble, right? And it's like you're crying for help and no one's hearing you. So
wow.
We went down this path on the show, and one of the things that we talked about was, and I'll tell you, a good friend of mine is Ryan Leaf. And Ryan's been phenomenal to me and sharing his story. And we wanted to make sure that we got it right. And we told the story that, you know, when this stuff happens, you know, when drug addiction, alcoholism, all of that stuff, mental health issues, these are not things that you get out of on your own. And
you've drawn upon Ryan Leaf?
He was generous enough to come in. He's a man of all men. He came in to our writer's room. It's a group of like 15 people that he had never met. and he gave us everything he had.
Wow.
I mean, everything. And it's right there. It's like when he's telling the story, you're just like, it's his personal story, and he's sharing with strangers, and he trusted us enough. And it was important enough to him, the story that we were telling, to make sure that it was done, the right way. Not that he's coming in and saying, do it the right way.
No, sure.
But he just had such impact on that room of genius writers, that I'm so proud of the story that we told and the way that we told it. I think that was important to do like a sort of an accurate depiction.
This Is Us, the season finale, again, next Tuesday, 9 Eastern time on NBC. And just congratulations on all that.
Thanks, man.
Just shows you that, 1 minute you could be an actor flying to New York next to a soon-to-be completely failed one-and-done reality TV show host, and then years later sitting on that host's new show.
That's right.
4 years in.
That's right. Everything happens
Talking about seed karma.
Talking about seed karma.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.